What's up, guys? Welcome to the Thoughts Out Loud experiment, aka the Toll, here on All Things Will. I probably should have checked my mic before I got started to see, hey, this blue snowball selected. So, it's lovely Wednesday morning here in Seoul, Korea. Don't got too much planned for today. Actually, the podcast is actually planned for the evening, but man, I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Alarm went off. I finally got some decent sleep last night. Went to sleep at a decent hour, and my brain has been racing ever since. First of all, the mushroom coffee that I've been drinking. I said I was gonna stick to it because, for one, I bought it all. Even though it tastes a little strange, tastes like pizza met coffee a little bit. Because if you like mushroom on your pizza, this mushroom coffee though. It's good stuff. Like, I think to a certain extent I was burning, like I was pouring the mushroom extract into hot coffee, or it says poured into hot water. I was actually pouring it into boiling water. I think the first couple of times I did that, it may have gotten like the whatever makes you, like, it's supposed to make your neurons like flare up and really have you think and have your thought processes going and things like that. I think I may have like damaged it with the heat of the water, right? Because if you boil stuff, you boil it. If certain things hit a certain temperature, like it loses its nutritional value, or whatever, or it loses some of its value. And same thing if you freeze it. But I seriously have just been putting it in hot water instead of boiling. Like, I'll boil it and then I'll forget about it, and then I'll end up going and putting it in there because it's just still warm enough. I like my tea hot. I like to sip my tea and coffee. But yeah, this mushroom tea, mushroom coffee stuff, like, I really think it does have an effect. Like, in the last couple of days, I've been feeling real, like, neurologically, like, lit up, like Tim Ferriss said, light yourself up like a Christmas tree. So on the other hand, though, it doesn't wake me up. Like, if I'm sleepy, because it doesn't have that much caffeine in it, particularly the tea. But if I'm sleepy, I'm still going to be sleepy. You're just going to be like kind of super aware that you're sleepy. But I do feel like a little more aware, like the awareness. Like, I feel like I took some, I don't know, what are the kids taking that were doing the pro gaming? Like, were they taking Adderall? Anyway, I'm going to continue to go ahead and keep drinking it and see how it works out. I'm not going to take it every day because I don't want to, like, the effect to get the same as what happened with coffee with me. But I am going to, like, start drinking it, keep drinking it. And I would recommend it to people who kind of want something to kind of wake them up a little bit and kind of, I don't know, just have that mental spark going. Anyway, that's longer than I wanted to talk about that. So yeah, the other day, what I've been thinking about this morning is Charlamagne the God on the Ask GaryVee show. Reggie just walked in. Reggie's my refrigerator for anybody who doesn't know what that is. Every time you hear that buzz, and I refer to Reggie, that's my little co-host. So anyway, Charlamagne the God on Ask GaryVee. And so when I first saw this, I gotta admit, when I saw it the first time, like, initially I saw it and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and click on this. I don't really even know. I know who Charlamagne the God is. I know who C the God is. But I haven't lived in the States basically since 2001, right? Like, with the exception of a year and a half in Arizona, I've been overseas in Korea since 2001. So I haven't listened to The Breakfast Club in like ages. I've just seen like really good segments that actually made it to like Facebook and being shared on Facebook and stuff like that. So I'm aware of who he is, but I didn't know what he was about until I saw him on Ask GaryVee. I was like, oh man, is he on some? I mean, I know he's doing this thing over at the Breakfast Club, but I didn't know he was on like some. No, GaryVee is like an entrepreneurship type thing, and I was aware Gary had been on there. But anyway, I didn't know he's writing a book. He's on GaryVee, like promoting this book, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up, man. Let me check this out and see what this is about. But when I saw it, the title was like Black Privilege and good things come to those who make it happen, or something like that. The tagline is like, basically, you can't wait for good things to come to you. And the tagline is really important. And in all honesty, I reared back when I saw Black Privilege. I was like, because part of me just went to a negative place. Like, is he going to go to black people always talking about white privilege, but they don't have they don't realize that the privilege is actually on those who are black. You hear stuff like that all the time, so I got turned off by it at first, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and click around this for a little while. I knew I was gonna eventually come back to it because it's GaryVee and it's Seed of God, so I figured I knew I was gonna come back to it eventually, but I avoided it for a little while. Eventually, lunch came around, and so I was checking out a couple of other things, and I was like, well, let me see what this is about, and it was like awesome, man. Like it. And like he goes in to explain what he means by black privilege and why he titled his book that, and what his concept of black privilege is, and how we need to acknowledge it, right? Because, I mean, he goes into, and I'll link up to the show, the actual episode in here. I already shared it on Bursting Ant's Facebook group. But yeah, man, like I think in the end, black privilege, he's saying like, everybody has their own competitive advantage, right? And you should just use your competitive advantage. White privilege is a competitive advantage for white people. Black privilege, we have our own competitive advantage. Mexican, Asian, everybody has their own competitive advantages, and they shouldn't be so focused on everyone else's competitive advantage that they don't recognize their own. And it was like, yeah, man, like seriously, like you have a competitive, and then in his case, in this instance, it's white, black, race, color, and creed. But I mean, you can apply that to so much more than just race. You can apply it to everything that you do. And to be completely honest, this lines up with what I've been trying to do with my goals. Like to niche down and really compare to what I want to do with my project, Seoulweaver. Like, I'm like, what am I doing out there, right? Like, I should be going ahead, and I actually talked about this when I mentioned double tapping. Using my competitive advantage to appeal to my target audience. So, like, I'm a family, and I've been running through this in my mind over and over again. I'm a family man in Seoul, Korea. I got a mixed, like, take the characteristics that I already have. Family man, living in Seoul, mixed relationship or mixed marriage, mixed family. Like, the family is, like, American and me. Wife is basically Korean American now, even though she's more Korean than American. Son's mixed, black and Korean. Mother-in-law's completely Korean. I mean, when we traveled with our passports, we had, like, every kind of passport you could think of. And it was just, like, between those two countries, I mean. So every kind of visa status you could think of. So it's like a competitive advantage in itself if I want to share information about just what we go through. And so it's kind of like the universe is talking to me saying like, yo, the world is talking to me like, yo, man, just use your own competitive advantage. In this case, it's just who you are. That your competitive advantage is inherent when it comes to like entrepreneurship and what you're doing. So just use that and build on your strengths in that way. So it was a really good episode. It was cool to listen to him. I mean, he still got a little cringeworthy. He still got like gutter in there, man. Like kind of like egad, man, that's your wife you're talking about. Like it's just he just got a little crazy in there, but just a cringeworthy to me because I'm just like not used to hearing that. Like I'm used to the profanity and I don't know, whatever you get from Gary, like the gutter in that direction. I'm just not used to people talking about like looking at come on their wife. That kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, man, that was pretty interesting. Highly recommend you guys check it out. It definitely like I wish there was more of that around, right? Like I wish there was definitely more of I'm gonna share this on Facebook, and I hope like every one of my little cousins and the younger brother, and hope everybody that I love, everybody close to me, everybody I consider to be invested in, I hope they watch it. I hope they listen to it. I'll probably redo another episode, or I'll do a live joint talking about it and share it with those guys, because maybe if they can just understand what he's saying, understand the point, I don't know. I might even buy a couple more books. I pre-ordered the book. I might buy a couple more and send it out to people. Just doesn't seem like it's an expensive book considering if you would have mentioned it 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have bought it. It's like $17. It's not too expensive. But like Pat Flynn's Will It Fly was like $10. I've been listening to Pat Flynn for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. So, I mean, and I would have paid $17. I don't know. I'd have paid $100 for Will It Fly just to give back the value that Pat has given me over the years for free. So, I don't know. I want to do what he does for people in my Seoulweaver community. Just give them stuff for free. And then even when I ask for that, jab, 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 when I ask for that right hook, I want it to be like minimal. But I just want them to be like, feel obligated to kind of reward. I'm going to talk about that later. In any case, man, See the God, seriously bringing it on Ask GaryVee. I was pretty impressed. I like that, man. I like it. I like Gary's little spot. Like he's like a hip hop head and like still this super high strung East Coast Jewish dude. Is it? He's like Russian Jewish, right? He's from Belarus or something like that. Anyway, man, check it out. I'll go ahead and link it up in the comments. Yesterday went pretty well. We actually got, if some of you might have already seen it, got a video posted on YouTube on Seoulweaver on the Switch over there. Go ahead and check that out. I'll also link that up in the description. It's just me and Will doing a mukbang right here. Like we're eating pizza, having a good time. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about Will and how like amazing it is to watch him like do a YouTube video. Like, man, you got it going on, man. You just go ahead and talk to the camera. Today I got the podcast. That's a story within itself. I really got to get ready for it. I've been touting this episode talking about things that are overshadowed by the cherry blossoms. Ironically, the episode itself has been overshadowed by the cherry blossoms because I've been paying so much attention to them. I didn't go do the research to get like the rest of it, to get the other events that are overshadowed by them. It's pretty serendipitous in its title. That's kind of crazy. Let me know what you guys got going on. It's midweek here. I guess I can wait till tomorrow to ask you guys that if you're stateside. But midweek here, week's going pretty good. We got some content out and things like that. So the writing didn't take place like I wanted, but we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you got going on. Like this if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thoughts Out Loud is part of my daily routine. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow in the next episode. You guys have a good one.